The staff and students of Ettumanoorappan College, in association with IQSC, proudly present before you a dramatic adaptation of Christmas Carol, novella written by the renowned British writer Charles John Hoffman Dickens, popularly known as Charles Dickens. Actors on stage: Shibin as Ebenezer Scrooge, Ashish as Jacob Marley, Abhijit as narrator, Sumod S. as Bob, Durga as Bob's wife, Aftab, Alana, Alsa, Monisha, Pooja, Binsi, and Saira as children, Aditya as Fat Man, Ajay as red-faced man, Vishnu, poorly dressed man, Gokul, Fred, Krishna Priya, ghost of Christmas past, Anu Alex, ghost of Christmas present, Revati as ghost of Christmas future, Selin Sabu as Fred's wife, Arun Sadanandan, Akshay and Abhay as gravediggers. Stage setting and coordination: Krishnadas KM, Department of English. Backstage supporters: Sujin Johnson, Aravind KS, Rahul, Mithun, Jesli, Arjun, Anandakrishnan PA, Govind Sayuj. Dubbing and sound effects editing: Nikhil Saji, DDM Studio, Kottayam. Light and sounds: Ashwin Shaju, Wedding Colors Events. Play written and directed by ARUNKRISHNA, Assistant Professor, Department of English. The path of making this play was not a smooth one. In that hazardous task, our principal stood as the strongest inspirational force. We would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our principal, Sri R. Hemant Kumar, who has trusted us and stood with us for making this dream a reality. We remember all the teaching and non-teaching staff along with our students on this prestigious occasion with gratitude for their cooperation and support. A pantomimic, as the term borrowed from ancient Greek suggests, affects a significant proportion of the population all over the world. The occurrence traumatized the whole of humanity and shattered the economic, social, political and cultural balance of the global world. As we are heading into the festive mood of Christmas bells, on behalf of Ettumanoorappan College community, I would like to pay tribute to our fellow men in the health and care sector who had given up their lives in the course of carrying out their professional duties. These people lost their lives while caring for and protecting people with compassion, dedication, and utmost care. We celebrate with a renewed hope and vigor as the humanity, especially children and the vulnerable, are being treated in a more sympathetic and generous way. The play is a token of love and courtesy from us to all those who have undergone poverty, unemployment, identity crisis, and personal loss during these troublesome years. Once again, a warm welcome and enjoy the show.
ആധുനിക സാങ്കേതിക വിദ്യകൾ പുനർനിർവചിച്ച വ്യാവസായിക വിപ്ലവത്തിൻ്റെ പരീക്ഷണശാലയായി ചരിത്രം ഇന്നും വാഴ്ത്തിപ്പാടുന്നു ഇംഗ്ലണ്ടിലെ വിക്ടോറിയൻ കാലഘട്ടം. പൊതുവേ സമാധാനപൂർണവും സമ്പൽ സമൃദ്ധവുമായ ഒരു സമയമായിരുന്നു ഇക്കാലം എന്ന് പറയാമെങ്കിലും സാമൂഹിക ഘടനയെക്കുറിച്ച്, പ്രകടമായ സാമൂഹിക അസമത്വങ്ങളുടെ നീതിയില്ലായ്മയെക്കുറിച്ച് നിരവധി ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ഉയർത്തിയ കാലവുമായിരുന്നു വിക്ടോറിയ രാജ്ഞിയുടെ ഈ വാഴ്ചക്കാലം. ഈ കാലഘട്ടത്തിലെ സാമൂഹിക വിഭാഗങ്ങളായിരുന്ന ഉപരിവർഗം അഥവാ പ്രഭുവർഗം അപ്പർ ക്ലാസ്, മധ്യവർഗം അഥവാ മിഡിൽ ക്ലാസ്, തൊഴിലാളി വർഗം അഥവാ ലേബർ ക്ലാസ് എന്നിവർ തമ്മിൽ സുവ്യക്തവും ശക്തവുമായ തരംതിരിവ് നിലനിന്നിരുന്നു. ലണ്ടൻ പോലെയുള്ള മഹാനഗരങ്ങളിൽ വൃത്തിഹീനവും സംഘർഷഭരിതവുമായ സാഹചര്യങ്ങളിൽ ജോലി ചെയ്തിരുന്ന അവിദഗ്ധരായ ജോലിക്കാരായിരുന്നു തൊഴിലാളി വർഗത്തിലെ മഹാഭൂരിപക്ഷവും. ആവശ്യത്തിന് പോഷണമുള്ള ആഹാരമോ ശുദ്ധജലമോ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് അടിസ്ഥാന വിദ്യാഭ്യാസമോ അപ്രാപ്യമായിരുന്ന ഈ തൊഴിലാളികളിൽ വലിയ ഒരു വിഭാഗം നഗരങ്ങളിലെ തെരുവോരങ്ങളിലും ചേരികളിലും താമസിച്ചിരുന്നു. വിഷമകരമായ സാഹചര്യങ്ങളുടെ സമ്മർദ്ദം ലഘൂകരിക്കുവാനായി പല തൊഴിലാളികളും മദ്യം, കറുപ്പ്, മറ്റു ലഹരി പദാർത്ഥങ്ങൾ എന്നിവ ഉപയോഗിക്കുവാൻ തുടങ്ങി. ഏതെങ്കിലും തൊഴിലിൽ വൈദഗ്ധ്യമോ മറ്റു വരുമാനമാർഗമോ ഇല്ലാത്ത പല സ്ത്രീകളും ഉപജീവനാർത്ഥം വേശ്യാവൃത്തി സ്വീകരിക്കേണ്ടതായി വന്നു. 6ഉം 7ഉം വയസ്സുള്ള കൊച്ചുകുട്ടികൾ ദിവസേന 10ഉം 12ഉം മണിക്കൂർ ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഒരസാധാരണ സംഭവമേ അല്ലായിരുന്നു. എന്നാൽ ഉയർന്ന വിഭാഗങ്ങളിൽപ്പെട്ട ഭാഗ്യവാന്മാരാകട്ടെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഒരു ജോലിയും ചെയ്യാതെ തങ്ങളുടെ മൂലധനത്തിൽ നിന്ന്, വസ്തുവകകളിൽ നിന്ന് ലഭിക്കുന്ന വലിയ വരുമാനം ആസ്വദിച്ച് സുഖമായി ജീവിച്ചു. സാമൂഹിക അനീതികളോട്, അശരണരായ സാധുക്കളോട്, പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് കുട്ടികളുടെ ദാരിദ്ര്യത്തോട് മുഖം തിരിച്ചു നിൽക്കുന്ന ബ്രിട്ടൻ്റെ മനോഭാവത്തോടുള്ള പ്രതികരണമായിട്ടാണ് ചാൾസ് ഡിക്കൻസ് തൻ്റെ പ്രശസ്തമായ ക്രിസ്മസ് കാരോൾ എന്ന രചനയുമായി രംഗത്തെത്തിയത്. സ്വന്തം സമ്പത്ത് വർദ്ധിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിൽ മാത്രം ശ്രദ്ധ കേന്ദ്രീകരിച്ചിരുന്ന പിശുക്കനും മുരടനുമായ എബനേസർ സ്ക്രൂജ് എന്ന കേന്ദ്ര കഥാപാത്രം പിന്നീട് താൻ അനുഭവിക്കുന്ന ആന്തരിക സംഘർഷങ്ങളിലൂടെ സ്നേഹത്തിൻ്റെയും അനുകമ്പയുടെയും പ്രാധാന്യം മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നു. ക്രിസ്തുമസ് എന്ന ഉത്സവം ഏതെല്ലാം ആശയങ്ങളെയാണോ പ്രതിനിധീകരിക്കുന്നത്, അതിനു വിരുദ്ധമായ സ്വാർത്ഥത, അത്യാഗ്രഹം, ക്രൂരത, മറ്റു മനുഷ്യരോട് സത്യസന്ധതയില്ലായ്മ തുടങ്ങിയ എല്ലാ തിന്മകളുടെയും വിളനിലമായിരുന്നു സ്ക്രൂജ്. ഈ കൃതിയിലൂടെ ഒറ്റപ്പെടലിൻ്റെ വിനാശകരമായ ഫലങ്ങളും ജീവിതത്തിൽ മാനസികാന്തരത്തിനും പുനർനവീകരണത്തിനുമുള്ള സാധ്യതകളും ആക്ഷേപഹാസ്യം എന്ന സംഗീതത്തിലൂടെ വായനക്കാർക്ക് മുൻപിൽ ഡിക്കൻസ് തുറന്നുവച്ചു. അത്യാഗ്രഹിയും ഏകാകിയും ലുബ്ധനുമായ ഒരു മനുഷ്യനിൽ നിന്ന് സഹാനുഭൂതിയും കരുണയുമുള്ള ഒരുവനായുള്ള സ്ക്രൂജിൻ്റെ പരിവർത്തനത്തിലൂടെയാണ് ഈ ആശയങ്ങൾ ക്രിസ്മസ് കാരോൾ വായനക്കാരനിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കുന്നത്. ബാഹ്യ സൗന്ദര്യത്തിൻ്റെയും ആന്തരിക വൈരൂപ്യത്തിൻ്റെയും കഥ പറയുന്ന ഈ വിശിഷ്ടകൃതി സാമൂഹിക അസമത്വങ്ങളുടെയും വർഗവിവേചനത്തിൻ്റെയും സ്വാർത്ഥതയുടെയും വിപ്ലവങ്ങളുടെയും ചിത്രങ്ങളും വരച്ചു കാട്ടുന്നു. പച്ചയായ മനുഷ്യൻ്റെ വിലോലതകളും തീവ്രഭാവങ്ങളും കാലത്തിൻ്റെ തിളച്ചു പൊന്തിയ പകയിടങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് ജീവിതത്തിൻ്റെ ഉഷ്ണസ്ഥലികളിലേക്കും ഭഗ്നസ്മൃതികളിലേക്കും ഈ ക്രിസ്മസ് കാരോൾ നമുക്ക് മുൻപിൽ ജാലകങ്ങളിതാ തുറക്കുന്നു.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period. Have you ever heard of Dickens and the Tale of Two Cities? Oh, what a fool am I. It's Christmas. Let it be this again. I don't know why you should want to hear the story again. You must have heard it a dozen times by now. 100? 1,000? But it's good for a laugh. And it's your story as much as it is anyone's, isn't it? Maybe it is. But I'm not sure I'm necessarily the right one to tell it. Or, that's not true. Grandmother says you're the only one who knows how to tell it right. Oh, now you know. I don't really need this. I've been telling this story every Christmas now for I don't know how many years since I was a boy, and I know it by heart. It always begins the same way. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. This must be distinctly understood, and nothing wonderful can come of the story I'm going to relate. So remember, old Marley was dead as a doornail. The registrar of his burial was signed by Ebenezer Scrooge. And Scrooge's name was good on the London Exchange for anything he chose to put his hand to.
Mr. Scrooge,
Your servant, sir.
are you of home to keep Christmas?
I am not in the habit of keeping Christmas, sir.
Then why are you leaving so early?
Christmas has a habit of keeping men from doing business.
Come, it's in the nature of things that ants toil and grasshoppers sing and play, Mr. Scrooge.
An ant is what it is, and a grasshopper is what it is, and Christmas, sir, is a humbug. Good day.
Oh, no, Mr. Scrooge. Come on.
Mr. Scrooge, sir.
Who are you?
Samuel Wilson, sir.
Oh, yes. You owe me a little matter of 20 odd pounds, I believe. Well, if you want to pay it, come to my place of business. I don't conduct my affairs in the teeth of inclement weather.
I can't pay you, sir.
I'm not surprised.
Not unless you give me more time.
Did I ask you for more time to lend you the money?
Oh, no, sir.
Then why should you ask for more time to pay it back?
I can't take my wife to a debtor's prison.
Then leave her behind. Why should she go to a debtor's prison anyway? She didn't borrow the 20 pounds. You did. What has your wife got to do with it? For that matter, what have I got to do with it? Good afternoon.
But, Mrs. Scrooge, it's Christmas. It's Christmas.
Christmas has even less to do with it, my dear sir, than your wife or I have. You still owe me 20 pounds that you are not in the position to repay if it was in the middle of a heat wave on August bank holiday. Good afternoon.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Bah! Humbug.
Uncle, Christmas a humbug? You don't mean that, I'm sure.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You are poor enough.
Come on then. What right have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You are rich enough.
Bah! Humbug.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this Merry Christmas? Out upon Merry Christmas. What Christmas time to you? But a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older, but not an hour richer? A time for balancing your books and having every item in them through a dozens of months present and dead against you? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holy through his heart. He should.
Uncle,
Nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
keep it. But you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good may it do you. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say. Christmas among the rest. But I am sure I have always thought of Christmas time when it has come around, apart from the veneration due to its sacred name and origin. If anything belonging to it can be apart from that, as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, and a pleasant time. The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year, when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely, and to think of people below them as they really were fellow passengers to the grave, and not on the race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good and will do me good, and I say, God bless it.
Hey, let me hear another sound from you, and you will keep your Christmas by losing your job.
How is Mrs. Bob and all the little assorted Bobs?
Very good, sir.
All champing at the bit, waiting for the Christmas to begin, huh?
Oh, yes, sir. All very eager.
And the little lame boy, which one is he? Tim?
Tim, sir.
That's right. How is he?
We are in high hopes. He is getting better, sir.
Good. A Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you, sir. I am sure.
Thank you, Bob. Do you know the wine shop in the next street? Come on. It's Christmas night.
You are quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder, you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow. Will you come? See us?
Oh, I'll see you, all right? I'll see you in hell.
But why? Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. Good afternoon.
Uncle, you never came to see me before that happened. Why? Give it as a reason for not coming now.
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I am sorry, with all my heart, to find you so resolute. We have never had any quarrel, to which I have been a party. But I have made the trial in the homage to Christmas, and will keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, a Merry Christmas, Uncle,
Good afternoon.
and a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon. And you? 15 shillings a week? And a wife and a family? Talking about Merry Christmas? I'll retire to Bella. You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose.
If quite convenient, so
It's not convenient. And it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used. I'll be bound. And yet, you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
it's only once a year, Mr. Scrooge.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier next morning.
I will, I promise. I will, I promise.
But I am going to sleep. Get lost with your Christmas. Get lost with your cakes. Get lost with your carol. It's humbug still. I won't believe it. I'd often heard it said that you had no heart, Molly, but I never believed it until now. How now? What do you want with me?
What?
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who are you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe in me?
I don't.
What evidence would you have of my reality beyond that of your senses?
I don't know.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach. makes them cheat. You may be an undigested bit of a beef, a blot of a mustard, a crumb of a cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. There is more gravy than of grave about you. Whatever you are, you see this toothpick.
I do.
You are not looking at it.
But I see it, notwithstanding.
Well, I have but to swallow this and be for the rest of my days persecuted by a legion of goblins. All of my creations. Humbug! I tell you, humbug!
Mercy! Dreadful apparition! Why do you trouble me?
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do. I must. But why do spirits walk the earth? And why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit does not go forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander through the world. Oh, woe is me! And witness what it cannot share, but might have share on earth and turn to happiness.
You are fatal! Tell me why!
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it on my own free will. And on my free will I wore it. Is its pattern strange to you? Oh, you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself. It was full as heavy and as long as this. 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous thing.
Jacob. Old Jacob Marley. Tell me more. Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge, and is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. Nor can I tell you what I would. A very little more is all permitted to me. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never walked beyond the counting house. Mark me, in life, my spirit never roved beyond the narrow limits of a money-changing hole, and weary journeys lie before me.
You must have been very slow about it, Jacob.
Slow?
7 years dead. And traveling all the time?
The whole time. No rest, no peace, incessant torture of remorse.
You travel fast.
On the wings of the wind.
You might have got over a great quantity of ground in 7 years.
Oh, captive, bound and double-ironed, not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one life opportunities misused. Yet, such was I, oh, such was I.
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of the trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. At this time of the year, I suffer the most. Why did I walk through the crowds of fellow beings with my eyes turned down and never raised them to that blessed star which led to the wise men to the poor abode? Were there no poor rooms to which its light would have conducted me? Hear me, the time is nearly gone.
I will, but don't be hard upon me. Don't be flowery, Jacob.
How it is that I appear before you in a shape that you can see, I may not tell. I have sat invisible beside you many and many a day. That is no light part of my penance. I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and a hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of procuring Ebenezer.
You were always a good friend to me. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance and hope you mentioned, Jacob?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over, Jacob?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more. And look that, for your own sake, you remember what has passed between us.
Scrooge closes his bedroom door and crosses to his bed. Without undressing, he gets in and falls asleep instantly. Scrooge awakes in darkness sometimes later. The fire has gone out in the sitting room. As the chimes of a neighboring church strikes 12, Scrooge counts with his fingers. Scrooge scrambles out of bed and gropes his way to the window. He rubs the frost off with the sleeve of his dressing gown. but all he can make out is that it's very foggy and very quiet. Scrooge lights a candle and sits on the edge of his bed, looking at his bedside alarm clock. It reads 12. So he resolved to lie awake until the hour was past. Considering that he could no more go to sleep than go to heaven, this was perhaps the wisest decision he could make. Now, of course, the ghost had warned Mr. Scrooge that a spirit would visit him when the bell tolled 1.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
I wonder if you might put a hat on.
What would you so soon put out with worldly hands the light I give? Is it not enough that you are one of those whose passions made this gap and forced me through all trains of years to wear it low upon my brow?
I didn't mean to offend. What business brings you here?
Your welfare.
Well, I'm much obliged. But I wonder if a good night's sleep wouldn't be more reliable to that end.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed. Rise and walk with me.
It's the middle of the night. It's below freezing. I'm wearing slippers, a dressing gown, and a nightcap. I'm mortal, and I am liable to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand there, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
I was bred in this place. I was born here.
Your lip is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
It's a pimple. I beg you, spirit. Lead me very good.
You recollect the way?
Remember it. I could walk it blindfold.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years. Let us go.
Poor boy. I wish I wish. But it is too late now.
What is the matter?
Nothing. There was a boy singing a Christmas carol at my window last night. I would like to have given him something. That's all.
I suspect it must have staggered Mr. Scrooge to see these children, especially the younger one, because had he played his cards differently, a woman such as she might well have called him a father and been like a springtime for him in the haggard winters of his life. Of course, he might well have had more than one child. Now, Marley's ghost had warned Scrooge that a second spirit would haunt him at the stroke of one. I don't mind telling you that Scrooge was now prepared for a good broad field of strange appearances, and that nothing between a baby and a rhinoceros would have astonished him very much. By this time, he was ready for almost anything.
Scrooge? Come in, Scrooge. Come in and know me better, man. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the like of me before?
Never.
Have never walked forth with my elder sisters born in these later years?
I don't think I have. I'm afraid I have not. Have you had many sisters, Spirit?
1842.
A tremendous family to provide for. Spirit, lead me where you will. I went forth last night on compulsion, and I learned a lesson which is working now. Tonight, if you ought to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
winces at this. The church bell strikes 12. Scrooge looks about him. The spirit is gone. Another, a solemn phantom, draped and hooded, comes like a mist along the ground. Towards him, midnight, the last of the spirits, the phantom slowly, gravely, silently approaches. Scrooge bends down upon his knees, for in the very air through which the phantom moved, it seems to scatter gloom and mystery. It is shrouded in a deep black garment which conceals his head, its face, its form, and leaves nothing of its visible save one outstretched hand. But for this, it would be difficult to detach its figure from the night and separate it from the darkness by which it is surrounded. It is tall and stately, and its mysterious presence fills Scrooge with a sullen dread. The phantom neither speaks nor moves.
I am in the presence of ghost of Christmas yet to come. You are about to show me shadows of the things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any spectre I have seen. But as I know your purpose is to do good to me, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to bear you company and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is precious time to me. I know. Lead on, Spirit. Lead on.
I don't know much about it. Either way, I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why? What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
God knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company. Perhaps he hasn't left it to me. That's all I know.
It's likely to be very cheap funeral. For upon my life, I don't know of anybody to go to it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going if the lunch is provided. But I must be fed if I make one.
Well, I am the most disinterested among you. After all, for I never wear black gloves, and I never eat lunch. But I will offer to go, if anybody else will. When I come to think of it, I'm not at all sure that I wasn't his most particular friend. For we used to shop and speak whenever we met. Bye-bye.
This is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not leave its lesson. Trust me. Let's go. Spirit, I see. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. My life turns that way now. That is the lesson I am to draw from this poor man's fate. Is it not? No, Spirit, no. Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been. But for this intervention, why show me this if I have past all hope? I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me, I may sponge away the writing on the stone. Before I draw near to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the thing that will be? Or are they the shadows of the things that may be? Forever in my life, I believe that God doesn't exist, but man has made him, and he has made him in his own image and likeness. And yet, I have had the weakness, and have still the weakness to wish you to know with what a sudden mastery you kindle me into fire. Heap of ashes that I am. Yes, what we don't understand, we can make mean anything. Oh God, have mercy on my soul. Oh soul, be changed into little water drops and fall into the ocean, never be found. God, my God, give me the tempest and storm of my thoughts and actions, rather than these dead calm of ignorance and faith. Oh Jesus, my Lord, banish me from the Eden when you won't. But first, let me eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge. And I wish you to know that you have been the last dream of my soul. Yes, oh yes, a multitude of people, and yet a solitude.
And that's the story. Yeah, but did old man Scrooge really keep his word? Yes, in fact, he was better than his word. He did everything he said he would, and much more. In fact, a lot of people laughed at him when he changed, but he let them laugh and didn't pay any attention to it. I think he was smart enough to know that nothing good ever happens in this world that people won't laugh at it. Well, after that, he adopted the principle of abstinence, and no spirits ever visited him again. You people still believe in ghosts? Man is certainly stark mad. He cannot even make a worm, and yet he will be making gods by the dozen? So is the devil too. And grandmother again says that science is the greatest antidote to the poison of enthusiasm and superstitions. So, what really happened that night when Scrooge returned from his office? Yes, you have seen him sleeping. But was Jacob Marley real? Do any of these ghosts really exist? You know, I am a storyteller. My job is to amuse you. But remember, I never lied you. Scrooge found himself on the same bed he slept, and he pinched himself on his lips and nose. Oh God! It was only a dream. A lucid dream. What wonderful jumps the dreamer permits himself, for instance. In his chain of reasoning, beyond his belief, Scrooge saw the ghost of Christmas past in a grocery shop few days later. With what unconcern he saw the most familiar loss of experience turned upside down. The ghost of Christmas present was a dancer from London who Scrooge scolded once for not paying him the interest by the evening. And remember, of 10 dreams, 9 at least have an absurd content. The ghost of Christmas future was a nurse from the Royal London Hospital who once gave an injection on the hip of Scrooge. The waking life with its trials and joys, its pleasures and pains, it's never repeated. Instead, the dream aims at relieving us of these. They merely enters into the key of our mood and symbolizes reality. Here comes Scrooge, the altered, transformed, metamorphosed Ebenezer Scrooge.
throughout the town. Peace on earth is all around. Everything is calm on Christmas Eve. There's goodwill in the air tonight. Angels sing by candlelight, their voices carried on the wind. When carol singers gather round, when I hear that festive sound, I wanna join with them and sing. They sing a merry song, and we all sing along, a festive melody that tells us Christmas time is here. See the stars tonight, they're shining bright, 'cause it's Christmas time, and it's my favorite time of year. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, give me mistletoe. It's a season to be jolly, wrapping presents, writing cards, helping decorate the tree. But there's one thing that makes it all for me. When carol singers gather round, angel voices fill the town. It's like the world is joining in. They sing a merry song, and we all sing along, a festive melody that tells us Christmas time is here. See the stars tonight, they're shining bright, 'cause it's Christmas time, and it's my favorite time of year. Christmas Eve, still believe, so excited, can't sleep. When the morning comes, church bells ring, and he's They sing a merry song, and we all sing along, a festive melody that tells us Christmas time is here. See the stars tonight, they're shining bright, 'cause it's Christmas time, and it's my favorite time of year. And it's my favorite time of